he announced his imminent departure. Fortunately for him, he was leaving on his own terms: when, where, and how. I, too, wanted to plan my own exit. Every 2 months, Lycos dismissed another 50 to 100 people. In fact, the first series of layoffs took place while I was working in Sydney planning the launch of our Australian operations. My colleagues in Boston informed me that those who were let go weren't even given the decency of being notified of their fate. Rather, they were blindsided and quickly dismissed by their managers. They had 15 minutes to place their personal belongings in boxes and were humiliatingly escorted out of the building. Apparently, it was a miserable experience for all involved. When I returned from Australia, the downsizing continued, slowly but ever so methodically. Although I was well respected and had contributed significantly to my company's international expansion and early success, I suspected that my name was on the HR department's hit list. I felt entirely helpless, yet I refused to accept the idea that someone else could dictate my fate, economic well-being, and financial security. My most immediate concerns were: what type of severance package could I negotiate should I be dismissed? How long does unemployment insurance last? How quickly could I find a job in this depressed employment market? How much does health insurance cost? Where did I save the latest version of my resume? Although I had been compensated handsomely during those years and had never spent beyond my means, I was accustomed to my monthly paycheck. I couldn't stop thinking about becoming just another employment statistic at the U.S. Department of Labor. With what I had learned from real estate books, of which I had been a voracious reader since my early 20s, coupled with the formal knowledge I had gained from the numerous real estate classes I had taken in college and the fear of being laid off, I quickly came to the conclusion that it was time for me to pursue the vast possibilities afforded to those who own income-producing real estate. It was time to take more control of my life rather than wait for the Vice President of Human Resources to eventually call me into his office. More often than not, the need to survive serves as a catalyst for accomplishing great and extraordinary feats in one's life. Fortunately, I had always agreed with Alexander Graham Bell's declaration: when one door of opportunity closes, another door opens. You just have to be courageous enough to realize that change is inevitable and that you must pursue your dreams with steadfast conviction and resolve. In an effort to establish some sort of financial security, and as a hedge against corporate downsizing, I began acquiring rental properties. Admittedly, I was terrified by the idea of increasing my debt exposure during a period of economic uncertainty. Fortunately, however, after just 2 years, the income generated from my rentals exceeded my salary. My part-time gig as a landlord quickly became my full-time vocational passion, one that provides me with sufficient income that I'll never have to depend on another employer for my financial security. The exhilaration and sense of freedom I experience from being a self-employed real estate investor have exceeded my wildest expectations. More millionaires have made their fortunes in real estate than in any other business. In fact, the IRS has reported that 71% of all Americans declaring $1 million or more on their income tax returns during the past 50 years were in real estate or related activities. Indeed, real estate can be extremely lucrative and has proved to be the most statistically likely way to achieve financial independence. Income-producing properties, when acquired and managed properly, can generate more income and offer greater flexibility and security than most traditional jobs. You can leave your day job confidently if you are willing to work long hours, demonstrate your tenacity for succeeding, and simply persevere. And I will show you how I did it in less than 2 years with rental properties. Chapter 1. Why Real Estate is Better Than 9 to 5. You see that building over there? I bought it 3 years ago. It was my first real estate transaction. I sold it 10 months later and made $800,000 profit. It was better than sex. At the time, it was all the money in the world.